This is Deborah Cohen. Welcome to my weekly podcast, A Story and a Song. This is the wonderful month of October 2024 when the weather is cooler in Florida and I can actually wear a half sweater. Anyway, so today's topic is one that I am passionate about. It's about singing for your health. And I would just like to share this information with you because singing has so many health benefits. And if more people would sing, I think there's some wisdom in the Brit Chadashah, even though I don't ascribe to that denomination or sect of religion. There's something in the Brit Chadashah, I think it's in the book of Timothy 3:16, if I remember correctly. It always attracted me. It says, greet one another with psalms and hymns and spiritual songs in your heart, making melody to one another. And wouldn't that be so cool if we all greeted each other with a song instead of problems and kvetching, complaining? I mean, that's the world I would love to live in. So I am a musician and indie artist, DeborahCohenMusic.com, and I love to share the benefits of singing. Please check out my music, DeborahCohenMusic.com, and I will be right back after this brief message. Hello, this is Deborah Cohen, Deborah Cohen Music, and I'm so glad that you took the time to listen to my podcast, A Story and a Song. It's about my life to share some wisdom and some mistakes, hopefully that we can learn from together and laugh at maybe, starting in the 80s in a new wave rock band in Boston with 2 singles that are still available on Spotify. Boston Nights and Dreamin'. And then on my worldly journey that we're all on, I morphed into a spiritually dominant being where I am a truth seeker and write songs of praise while having one foot in the world writing sync music. So listen up and share. And this is Deborah Cohen. You probably did not see the video because it's streaming from YouTube, and YouTube has decided to put a strike against my channel and is not letting me utilize my channel right now because I uploaded a video ad for my new book, Jewish Palestine, Arab Palestine, A History of Conflict. And the video contains an interview by a Saudi prince who concurs with the content of my book, which I hope you'll get. You can find it anywhere books are sold online. But even though I was sharing historic, factual information about the origins of Palestine, YouTube didn't like it. And so they've shut down my YouTube channel for a while. So I'm sorry if you're used to seeing this on YouTube. You'll look for it someplace else. Anyway, we're streaming today on LinkedIn. Thank you, LinkedIn. And also on my Instagram channel. The handle is at Deborah Cohen Music, DOTCOM. And I see that baby boomers joined me. So thank you for joining me. I'm going to put a link in Instagram so people know about this contest that I've entered, and I'm asking for your vote. The first vote is free. If you're looking at the screen, you can see this Fab Over 40. Now, I don't expect to win this contest. Come on. I'm going to be 70 years old in November, but I wanted to do something special about my 70th birthday to remember. So anybody that votes for me is giving me a birthday blessing. So how do you vote for me? Okay, let me tell you as I try to type and talk at the same time. I'm not much of a multitasker, never was. So if you go to this website, VoteFab40, the number 40, 40. Whoops, wait a minute. I'm getting a beep there. .com/2024, which is the year we're in, /Deborah. Make sure you spell my name right. DEBRA-COHEN, Cohen, the number 2. And you'll get the first vote for free. All you have to do is click on the link, go to the site, you'll see my picture, and vote. One vote for me. It will really help and make a difference. And, you know, if you think, oh, that's vanity, I'm not going to get involved in that. Well, every vote that you do on the site contributes and supports National Breast Cancer Foundation. So there's a good reason to do it, if not for me. So if you're listening to this or you happen to come across this video now through October 24th, 2024, the last day to vote is October 24th. You can vote more than once, but of course, it would cost you $1 for every vote. I'm not asking you to pay unless you want to, spend some money to help the National Breast Cancer Foundation, but please at least vote once, which doesn't cost you anything except a minute of your time. So let's begin here, and thank you again for joining me on Instagram and on LinkedIn. This is from the Academy of Sound Therapy, and this interests me greatly because I attribute some of my agelessness from singing. You know that we're born to age. From the moment we're born, we're in the cycle of aging until we take our last breath. But I attribute singing to a more youthful look. Of course, there's other parts such as yoga, which I also teach online to baby boomers like myself. But I notice that people that are more focused on reconnecting the body-mind, especially in this busy life that we live in, where everybody's multitasking and walking around on this cell phone, dating with a cell phone. That's a no-no, men. You don't want to be sitting there at the table looking at your phone while you're on a date. That's the most rude thing you could ever do. And yes, it's happened to me. I'm like, oh, it's so irritating. So, if you work on meditation, mindfulness meditation, there's different kinds of meditation, but I practice that online, and the handle for that is @Burnalong. Or my company, but what is it now? I haven't used it for a while because I've been out on physical therapy for a torn meniscus. Bodybuilding Boomers, @Bodybuilding Boomers, and I'm trying to get rid of some of this, I could call it baby fat, but I couldn't really do that, could I, if I'm 70, baby fat? No, it's adipose tissue, let's be real, right? Oy, I don't like it, believe me, I don't. Okay, so the benefits of singing have long been documented. And, I never heard much about the benefits of singing in my younger years. And this is another reason I want to encourage people to sing. And it doesn't require talent. I have a singing group. If you're in the Clearwater, Florida area, come and sing with us if you like Jewish music. You don't have to have a singing voice, but you use the voice that you were born with and find your own special, unique sounds. And practice them in a safe environment where people are not going to criticize you because, you don't want to hear me sing. A lot of people say that right off the bat when I invite them to the singing circle. They're like, oh, you don't want to hear me sing. Well, yes, I do. I'm not here to judge your talent because it doesn't require talent. You don't have to learn how to read sheet music because I teach you the little short songs that you can challenge your mind It's good for your mind. So let's get on to this. I'm very talkative this morning for some reason, more than usual. Must be the mushrooms in my coffee. Okay. So it says here that we know it feels good to sing, but what actually happens to our bodies when we sing? Some people might not think it feels good because they've stopped singing, which I did for a while because my mother, as a teenager, was verbally abusive, and she was not encouraging at all. I actually had to go to counseling, which is why I'm an advocate for singing for health, because I know how much it benefits the body-mind connection. Okay, so we'll discover why singing can be so beneficial in our overall health and well-being. We'll also discover the best music to sing along with and how long we need to sing in order to feel the benefits. Research has shown that singing may actually help us ward off illness. Oh yes, I agree 100%. A benefit that is not to be underestimated in this current pandemic situation post-COVID. In order to understand the therapeutic effect of singing and how our voices can help our overall being, it helps to first explore the mechanisms underlying the relationship between singing and our body chemistry. So if you're into chemistry, or if you study hormones or physiology, biology, this will interest you. If not, listen anyway. You might learn something that you didn't realize was so interesting. Okay, the hormones and the neurotransmitters. Adrenaline, sometimes called the fight or flight hormone, is a hormone released by the adrenal glands and some neurons. Adrenaline is released in response to a stressful, exciting, dangerous, or threatening situation. And if you're like I was, struggling with PTSD, some people are stuck in that. It becomes a trauma. Fight or flight is to give you an extra boost of energy to run away from harm. And if a lot of soldiers come back from the military, from war, and they're so used to being on battle alert, they can't, get out of it. It's called post-traumatic stress disorder. I didn't have it from being in a war, but I did have it from being exposed to verbal and physical abuse as a child. So you're always waiting for the next attack and very, very stressed. Some people might not know they have it, but like if you come up behind a person, they don't know you're behind them, a friend, let's say, and you try to play a joke and scare them. Now, if you used to do that to me when I had PTSD before I went through counseling, it used to make me cry, and I didn't understand why. It freaked me out. So I realized in going to counseling that I had some embedded trauma that I needed to process. Okay. So adrenaline helps the body and mind to react more quickly by raising your heart rate, blood pressure, and diverting blood flow from the digestive system to the muscles. If the system is stressed for a prolonged period of time, the nervous system can get stuck. That's what I was just explaining to you, in fight or flight syndrome. And in these cases, there can be elevated levels of adrenaline in the system. Research has shown that an increase in adrenaline has been linked to a whole host of health conditions, such as heart disease, cancer, high blood pressure, and mental health conditions, all of which I have struggled with until I got this under control. Therefore, reducing the amount of adrenaline in the system is important for overall health and well-being. Cortisol is a hormone secreted by adrenal glands and is also associated with heightened stress levels. So if you're stuck in stressful mode, like I have been most of my life, you start developing a muffin top. It's not a pretty thing, It's the extra fat on top of your hips, when I used to wear landlubber jeans, and low rider jeans and you could see the bones poking out of my jeans? Well, gradually it wasn't the bones poking out of my jeans, it was a muffin top, fat. And that's not a good thing. So, cortisol regulates a wide range of processes throughout the body, including metabolism and the immune system response. So if you're like me and had PTSD and you start developing a belly, some women postmenopausal do that from high levels of cortisol. There have been numerous studies that have been shown that cortisol levels reduce when we sing for pleasure, as opposed to performing, which can be stressful. Yes, indicating that singing is a stress-reducing activity. Now, are you interested now, if you weren't before, in why singing is good for your health? Another hormone is dopamine. It is a neurotransmitter associated with reward and pleasure, and therefore an increase in dopamine can elevate our mood state. You can always be in a good mood. Wouldn't you like to be that way? Every time we experience chills or goosebumps when listening to our favorite track, we are giving ourselves a shot of this feel-good neurotransmitter. I have been in congregations many times as a praise singer, and all of a sudden, it's a wonderful feeling to get goosebumps when you're singing. And it's possible for all of us. So why not give yourself a shot of dopamine by singing for pleasure? When considering putting your favorite sing-along playlist together, you may want to add in a few songs that give you goosebumps. So if you're in the chat, I see you in Instagram, write down your favorite song that gives you goosebumps. Do you have one? And I see Baby Boomers has joined in Instagram, as well as Harvey Weiner. Do you have a song that gives you goosebumps? The endorphin buzz. This is another hormone that you stimulate when you're singing for joy. Endorphins is a collective name given to a group of hormones secreted within the brain and nervous system that performs a variety of different physiological functions. When released, they have a pain-reducing and mood-lifting effect. And believe me, many times, because I love to sing. I sing a lot to God in the morning. I used to do it every morning when I was first married to help me cope with my new husband. But yes. So people say, even today, come on now. I'm like, I don't do drugs anymore. I did when I was in my 20s, and that's another story. When I was in a rock band and got lost in cocaine and Dom Perignon. But, you can be happy or joy, even in the midst of your struggles, and we all have them. I have them. All I have to do is look in the mirror and I get stressed out at this battle of the bulge that I'm fighting. But anyway, you can sing for the joy of it. What I was trying to say is some people that I go to congregation every week, I've actually had people ask me if I'm on drugs because I'm happy. I'm like, seriously? Okay, why don't you sing? All right. It was found that singing, dancing, and drumming all trigger endorphin release, whereas just listening to music and low-energy music activities do not. So there's a cue for you. It's got to be high energy. Basically, if you dance around your bedroom singing into a hairbrush, you are much more likely to lift your mood, no matter what other people say in the house. Close the door. Don't let them see you. Or sing in the shower with your shower head. Another hormone is immunoglobulin A. Immunoglobulin A is an antibody blood protein that is an important part of the immune system. It looks like I need to get stronger glasses. IgA is what it's called, and other types of antibodies to help fight off sickness Stress lowers the production of IgA and therefore leaves the immune system vulnerable to attack. In recent and ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, health advisors were advising people to reduce their stress levels to help build immunity. That's one of the reasons I have this singing circle. It's called Soul Sing. There have been numerous studies that have explored the relationship between singing and immunoglobulin A and have found that singing significantly improves IgA levels. One study recorded a 150% increase in IgA in 10 solo singers that were monitored over a 10-week period. Now, don't you want to boost your immune system? It has also been found that people are much more likely to be positive and relaxed when they have elevated levels of IgA. Remember the smiling exercises? Smile. Some people will think if you smile too much, you're on drugs. I know I get asked that at least once a month. Are you on drugs? I'm like, no, I'm singing. It's from singing. So now I can say intelligently, well, no, actually, I do high energy singing and it increases my IgA by 150%. So that's why I'm smiling, and see what they say to that. They'll think, huh? Are you some kind of a nerd? People can be so negative, I'm telling you. Oh my gosh, they just drain my battery. Okay, singing for better mental health. Now, who doesn't need better mental health? In this day and age, we live in a crazy world. We've already explored the benefits of singing on stress hormones and neurotransmitters and have found evidence to show that singing helps you feel better. Regulation in the breath when you feel anxious also helps reduce stress and anxiety, and happy music elevates your mood. As well as solo singing, there are a great social benefit to singing, especially if you get together with friends online or in person or right here, right now. You can start singing with me. You know, I wonder if I made this broadcast open to somebody to join me on the live broadcast, would you dare to come on as a co-host and get up here and sing a song and show us how it makes you happy? How many people would have the guts to do that? Put it in the chat if you think you'd like to come on here as a guest. I won't ask you today because I'm not set up today for anybody to come up and join me. But that would be so much more fun if I had somebody that was willing to come on this broadcast and show us how singing makes you happy. Singing increases heart and lung function. In her research paper, Berry, B-E-R-I, in 2016, posits the benefits of pranayama. Oh, that's one of them yoga terms. I don't know those terms. I teach yoga, but not to that belief system. I do Jewish yoga. Okay, the branch of yoga that includes specific breath work exercises. Studies show that practitioners of this form of breathing had increased antioxidant levels in their blood doing, I call it belly breathing. You put your hands over your navel, and you can do this with me right now. Take a breath in through your nostrils. You want to feel your hands expanding like you have an imaginary balloon in your belly. You're filling it up with air. And then exhale through the back of your throat. You want to suck in your belly. Suck it in like you're trying to zip up your tight landlubber jeans. And do that a few times to air out the cobwebs in your brain. Studies show that practitioners of this form of breathing had increased antioxidant levels in their blood. Antioxidants are known to combat the oxidation of the cells, which has been associated with aging and disease. Singing songs enables a person to sustain their breath in a certain way. In order to sing long phrases, you need to take a deep breath and let it out more slowly. Songs that enhance sustained breathing tone the lungs, reduce stress, and increasing oxygen flow to all parts of the body. There have been studies that have shown a link to stress and aging. Chronic stress can accelerate the aging process. You can't avoid aging. We're born to age. You know, I've heard the song, Born to be Wild. How about Born to Age? Born to age. Okay. Now, spiritual health. That's where I lose some people because they don't know they're a spiritual being, but they don't think about when they pass on. Your body, the body that you're looking at in this video, this, I call it an earth suit, goes to the ground. But the soul inside, or if you want to call it the spirit inside, the real me inside, goes someplace else. Do you know that? The growing trend in practices like mindfulness, sound therapy, sound baths, I've never had one of those, and yoga is evidence that many people are taking more care of their spiritual health. Spiritual health is not just about being bendy, meaning like Gumby and Pokey. If you're a baby boomer, you know what I'm talking about. It's not about navel gazing. Navel gazing? I've not heard of that one. It's not about finding God. It's about finding something that connects you to something greater than you. What makes you in awe of your place in the world and your connection to others? That's a question. You can put it in the chat. What makes you in awe of your place, AWE, in the world? This could be an activity in your local community, or visiting a mosque, visiting a synagogue, visiting a church or a temple. Go ahead and write it in the chat. This could be an activity in your local community. It could be a regular meditation, a walk in the forest, or a swim in the sea. Where is your sacred place, where you tap into your spiritual self? A study was done among a group of nurses that experienced stress and depression in their workplace. It was concluded that taking spiritual health into consideration helped people to manage their stress, to reduce depressive symptoms, and to enhance health-promoting behaviors. Studies have shown that we are much happier when we connect and reach out to others, like I'm doing here with you. I'm reaching out with you guys in Instagram. Don't you want to say something? Maybe you want to just tell me where you're listening from. Singing in groups is a great way to do this. Make it a personal mission to create a choir. Remember, it has to be a no-pressure choir, or the stress hormones will kick in. Singing for the heaven of it is perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, of course, we mentioned which music you need to choose, and you want to choose music that makes you happy. And I'm getting ready to wrap this up, people. And I'm looking for one more nugget that I can share. Okay, it's important that you sing for a certain length of time for optimum effect. When it comes to boosting mood, 7,500 participants in a study were asked how long it took them to feel good after listening to music. The common dosage for happy music, 5 minutes. The average dosage, 14 minutes. So you could find like 4 songs to listen to, and then you're going to stimulate your hormones in a good way. So don't you want to do that? As well as being energized, singing can reduce stress because it regulates your breathing. In conclusion, In this study, we discovered that singing alters the hormones and neurotransmitters that boost mood state and the immune system. We found that singing reduces stress, which is linked to so many health conditions. Did you know that 80% of most major diseases are caused by unmanaged stress? We have explored the research that shows that listening to positive music for more than 5 minutes a day can improve mood state, and that engaging in music by singing or playing instruments is more effective than listening alone. We have found that singing can be good for mental health, and that through group singing we can nurture our spiritual health and sense of belonging. Singing also boosts the immune system, which may help reduce frequency of illness. All right, we have identified the 3 most important ingredients in music that may help improve health and well-being, which are lyrics. We didn't talk about that because I didn't have enough time, but obviously you want to listen to good lyrics. To boost the mood, increase dopamine, reduce stress. Driving rhythm to boost mood and increase oxygen flow, like aerobics. And breathing to reduce stress and increase oxygen. We've also identified a duration of time to sing to increase mood state. And if you want to read this, go to what is this? Let me look at this. It's a long URL. British Academy of Sound Therapy.com, and look for the benefits of singing for health and well-being. So in closing, 2 reminders again. If you are listening to this broadcast now or live, please make a note to copy down the URL. Thank you, Zelico, for joining me in Instagram. You can do me a huge favor by going to the link in the chat if you're live, or looking at the video at the bottom below me. There is a link there that you can go to and vote one time for free for this. Let me put my finger in the right direction. The dyslexia. Hello. There you go. I am Fab over 40. Well, I don't expect to win the beauty contest, but it benefits the National Breast Cancer Foundation. And it would be really cool to just get some notoriety as I am vamping up to celebrate my 70th birthday next month. And I would like to make it a little bit more memorable. Maybe some of you, if you are already over 70, you remember what it was like. I don't want it to be depressing. So you can make it a happy birthday for me just by going to the link votefab40.com/2024/Debra, Debra-Cohen, Cohen-2. Vote for me. The first vote is free now through October 24th, 2024. And we just learned about the health benefits of singing, and we want to have upbeat music. So I'm going to close this segment by sharing my latest song, Zion. And I'm not singing about the negative definitions of Zion. I'm singing about the definition of Zion from the Holy Bible. Thank you for listening. I hope you will share this with somebody and ask them to vote for me. VoteFab40.com. And join me again next week at 11:30 a.m. on Sundays, Eastern Time, for a story and a song. Thank you so much for listening.
Have you heard of Zion? Where some people still believe in God's kingdom. His holy name is placed there in the Bible, in the heart of Jerusalem. And